My name is Bergen, and I'll be discussing how The Truman Show uses persuasion techniques such as ethos and pathos to manipulate the viewers in the film and us, the actual viewers. Starting off with ethos, or a way to establish a speaker's credibility and trustworthiness, using their power or expertise and knowledge as a way of gaining trust and support. Truman's God, Christoph, shows why he is in charge in the scene where he is shown on camera for the first time in 30 years, since the pilot episode when Truman was born. A rare interview with the mysterious creator behind The Truman Show, who has been in the background orchestrating the most popular show in the history of the world. The interview is watched by many, as we see with the scenes of people around the world engrossed by their screens as the show goes on. The interview starts off with a slow panning shot up at the moon as Truman goes to bed. The camera zooms in at the moon until we see the creator through the glass. The angle, the purpose of this shot, is to show Christoph's power, his authority over the world, his world that he created. He is up in the heavens watching over his creation. When he is actively being interviewed, he is very mysterious, very cold and calculating. He holds his hands together like you would see an artist do talking about their work, or perhaps a supervillain sitting on their throne. Christoph answers the interview questions in very short, calculating sentences, carefully picking out everything that comes out of his mouth. He's very calm, framing himself as an artist who has crafted a perfect reality. Not directly, but comparing himself to a god. He appeals to his audience and gains respect due to his expertise, innovation, and success. During the interview, he justifies the show by saying Truman is free of suffering. He believes that he has provided Truman with everything he needs, a safe and fulfilling existence, putting himself in the same category as a benevolent figure. He says he knows Truman better than Truman knows himself. He also controls the interview, not answering some of the questions directly and not giving out too much information, which leads to him being able to shape how the audience is able to perceive him and the show, leading to them accepting him as the godlike figure he wants to be seen as. Now on to pathos, or appealing to the audience's emotions, connecting to them on an emotional level, using their feelings, such as sympathy or compassion, sometimes sadness, and even anger. The Truman Show does an excellent job of gaining sympathy for Truman as he becomes more and more desperate to figure out what is going on with his world and why it's falling apart. We can feel his confusion, his fear, and his longing as he searches for the truth, and eventually his freedom when the truth finally reveals itself. Truman's vulnerability creates a strong bond and emotional connection with us and the audience in the film. In an attempt to use Truman's humanity against him, Christoph and the show's producers craft fake emotional scenes. The most significant is his reunion with his father, who had drowned when he was a little boy. The purpose of this was to keep Truman emotionally invested in his fabricated world. We can see the toll this takes on him, the emotional drain it has, which seeps into the viewers and leads audiences to turning on Christoph and cheering for Truman, hoping he learns the truth and finds a way out of his prison. We and the audience begin to question the morality of keeping a human in a fake world, even though they enjoyed watching him grow up for the past 30 years. This leads to us celebrating when he finally succeeds and escapes his prison. The Truman Show does an amazing job of using ethos and pathos to drive the story and connect with the audience. Christoph and his God complex. He believes he's an artist and needs to be in control. The way he speaks and presents himself makes it clear he thinks he's in charge. He's too calm, too calculating, and the way he presents himself convinces us that his twisted show is justified. Yet, the emotional pull of this film is even greater, centered around Truman's confusion and fear and his eventual triumph. Your heartstrings are twisted and ripped out as we watch a human manipulated by Christoph so terribly that we are on the edge of our seats during the entire finale. And our hearts can finally take a break when he says goodbye for the final time. You can't help but celebrate with him and question everything about your morality and the cost of a perfect life.